Good evening, good afternoon, fellow Biafrans. Just want to thank God for every one of us. And it's been a wonderful time. I mean, I've been thinking about doing this for some time now because of so much going on. I couldn't do it. Sometimes I'll make an announcement and I won't do it because of so much going on. I'm so sorry about that. And I promise that I'll be going on more often than usual because it demands that we go on air. And I know most of you have been waiting since afternoon or since evening for me to go on air. And I want to let you know that it wasn't on purpose, it was because of some alleged discrepancies that surrounded me here. And I just want to thank every one of you that have been working so much, putting so much energy, strength, resources, everything to make sure that we realize our land, that the land of Biafra is restored. There is no doubt that we have Biafra, and there's no doubt that the name rings a bell in the ears of so many people more than you think. No, over there in the contraption you find yourself. And so many people all over the world know that Biafra has been ringing in the ears of so many people. And I am very, very excited that I am a part of this, and I will continue to be a part of it until the day I die. And I believe that Biafra will be realized in my lifetime because God always gives me whatever I ask him in my lifetime. So he will not fail to give me Biafra while I'm alive. He won't allow me to die before he gives it to me. He will give it to me now because he knows how important it is for me to see Biafra. And he will do it. So many preachers all over the world believe in this, and they are working assiduously to make sure that we realize our country, Biafra. There is something I want to share with us in the scriptures, but my time is so limited. I promise that I will do this again tomorrow. Just because I made a promise today, I don't want to keep people waiting, and I didn't do it. If you have gone to sleep, and if you have gone to sleep before we started, I want to let you know that you can wake up and still tune in, and because it's going to be reposted and reposted until everybody hears it. I want every single soul born of a woman in Biafra land, whether you're in diaspora, whether you're back home, to please listen to every word spoken about Biafra, whether it's of me or of somebody else, because that helps us to know who is who. I also want everyone to please make sure that you support all the people that are speaking the truth when it comes to Biafra. And even when you see them on your YouTube, Facebook, just say like. Don't just scroll away, because it appears to me that so like this is what Nnamdi Kanu gave his life for. And he gave his mom, his dad, his whole family, his wife, children, and to make sure that we have a better life. He could have kept quiet, stay in England and enjoy his life, but he chose to be one of the 100 people he's looking for. I want to do more than 30 in one person, because I know I am. I know that I am unmovable. I know that this is one man anybody can play with when it comes to Biafra. I know that. And the whole world will soon realize that there is no joke when it comes to Biafra. What is life if I am alive and my people are being subjected to such kind of inhuman treatment? But so many people, even though we don't like what they're doing, but remember, most of them are accumulated for themselves. They don't want to die, they just want to live. But people living have a lot of guns to shoot at them, to kill them, to destroy them. So most of them, just don't want to die. They want to live, they want to survive. So I call upon every single one of you, wherever you are, to please pay attention to Biafra. Stop taking it as a joke, because one day you may rise up thinking that you still have a home to go to, then you won't have it anymore. You can ask so many countries of the world where Islamic land, I mean, people like Fulanis have invaded. They don't have no home anymore to go to because they took things for granted. Oh, it's not going to happen. Oh, no, this is a lie. Oh, before they know it, it's all over. So, but we know what's going on. We are not going to, wait until we don't have a home to go to. Paul, writing, he says that knowing the terror of the Lord will persuade all men. So we know the terror of the Fulanis and those who are sponsoring them. So we persuade all Biafrans to rise up and do something. I mean, whatever area it can happen. But now I want to address one particular issue. If I have time to go to the next one, I go. Otherwise, I come back tomorrow. So maybe I'll be doing it from now until when. So I'll keep doing this. But I need to do it a little bit earlier so that people can listen. I think maybe this may be the better time for all of you to do. You are home, especially back home in Biafra land, to listen. And those of you in diaspora, to listen. Jesus made a comment. And he says, there anyone, no kingdom that rises up against itself ever lives, ever stands. I wanted to share the gospel, but if I go there, I will not go to them because of time and things. It got so late. But I want to say this shortly. Jesus made that comment. He said, there is no kingdom that will ever rise against itself and still stand. This word goes to every single person in the land of Biafra and lovers of freedom all over the world. When a husband rises against a wife, that marriage will not stand. When a wife rises up against the husband, that marriage will not stand. Just let you know. The same way. When Asarito Kubo rises up against Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu rises up against Wazirike rises up against any other person in Biafra land, Biafra will not stand. Yes, it won't. You cannot say you want to be united and you say you are disunited among yourselves. When we say that we love ourselves, we should mean it from the core of our hearts. The pursuit for Biafra means compassion. The word "con" means heart. Passion means love. We have heart love for Biafra. We have heart passion for Biafra. If we don't have it in our hearts, we cannot display it open. Because no man gives what they don't have. If anybody in Biafra land don't have a heart for Biafra, you will always rise up against Biafra. You may be seeking for your own belly. I know that's what so many people are seeking for. They are seeking for their own stomach. But the founder of this movement, I don't think he came here for money. He didn't come here for his belly. He wasn't doing bad. He came here to do the job God assigned him to do, to make sure that Biafra is restored. And that man's name is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And we know him. He knows we know what he stands for. For every single one of us, fighting against it, saying stupid things against ourselves, will not make this thing easier for us. Our enemies are out there laughing at us. They have spent so much money to make sure that we are disunited. And you are dancing the music they are playing for you. And that makes you to begin to understand that we are not as smart as we think we are. When I was 10 years old, my father told me, he said, the Igbo people are not as smart as you think. He told me that. He said, when you grow up, you will realize what I'm talking about. They're not that smart. Yeah. We are maybe 50% slow. And then with the 50% we have, we think we are better than anyone. Look at the Fulanis have been planning to destroy the whole eastern Nigeria for many years, but we don't have no plans. We wait until we are choked up. Our politicians are busy fighting for their own reputation, for their own name, trying to be governor and president and vice president, ministers, but our land is burning with fire. They don't even care. They sabotage each other, destroy each other because of name, because of fame. And we are busy fighting against each other. PDOS and Simon are busy fighting each other, saying evil things against each other, calling themselves names, because most of us have been bribed with money that we should be fighting against each other. Remember, no kingdom that rises up against each other lives to stand. Understand that? So if Biafra should be realized, I want to let all of you know that we must come together as a people and put our petty differences aside. There's no way we're not going to have differences. If we don't have differences, then we are robots. But we must know how to manage our differences. For me, I would want the DOS to pay attention to someone to pay attention to DOS. And we should regard the autopilot as the youth wing of IPOB. Look at the Fulanis, their youth wing, no matter what they say, they don't find fault with it. They never say anything to it. They call them and maybe reason and tell them to soft pedal. We don't hear when they say it, but they soft pedal. When they said all the Igbos in the north should go in 30 days, you don't hear anybody from the north, from the caliphate being angry, shouting, screaming. No, they called them and told them things, and they soft pedal. But our own, we must come on air to bash and abuse, insult each other. And we claim that we are smarter than anyone, when we are actually morons. How can we continue to do this if we don't put ourselves together and think about how to bring somebody's son that is languishing in jail, and so many of them languishing in jail because of us, and we are here fighting against over what we don't even know. I don't know what any of you really particularly fighting for. If you are fighting for this particular thing that somebody left his house, his wife and children, brother and sisters and mom and dad, buried two of them almost at the same time, and we are here talking about a ruse and a nonsense, something that doesn't make really any sense. What is wrong with all of us? Every day we're talking about it. I mean, these are grown people that don't know how to harmonize each other very well. I mean, if you don't have the wisdom to do this, why don't you say I resign? This requires it's really wise brain to do this. You don't just say you're going to work with DOS. I don't have no brain. Simply because you can argue and talk about what you don't understand doesn't mean that you have brain to harmonize issues. I mean, if I can't do it, I'll say I can't. I don't have the brain. I don't have the patience. I don't have the charisma to do this. This requires a strong charisma. If only Nnamdi Kanu is the only one that has the charisma to do this, then we are doomed. We are doomed. In any land where you have only one man, that country is doomed. You want to tell me that the whole people who claim that they are smarter than anyone don't have anyone that have brain to put themselves together? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Why should we come to the radio and be bashing ourselves, abusing ourselves, and claim that we want to fight for a country? The white people you want to convince that you need their own country are busy looking at you and saying how you people are killing yourselves. So if Nnamdi Kanu will not come out from that jail, so we can't have Biafra because it's not here. Which means we're incompetent and inept to do this. What is this abuse for? What is this nonsense for? What is this stupidity for? I'm asking. If anybody can answer me, please answer me, because I really want to know why. Every single one of you don't want to think and reason very well. Because you have this skin, you say you're from Israel. The Israeli people don't have that kind of behavior. They know how to harmonize themselves very well. Why would all of you always be talking against yourselves? Why? I thought we were fighting for one cause. If all of us have different ways to do it, why can't we sit down and say, everybody bring the idea to the table, let's put it together and see how we can get this done? Must we insult each other? Must we abuse each other all the time? If somebody says what you don't like, why don't you sit down and call them on the phone? You don't have to kill us and all kinds of names. And they expect to work with the same person in unity, in the same country you are trying to find. That is really, really nonsense. Can we come together and stop all this nonsense? Can we? If we cannot come together, then let's stop agitating for Biafra until we are ready. You must learn how to be stepped upon. Somebody must step upon your toes. You have to understand that. Otherwise, you live alone in the house. If you don't want somebody to step on your toes, this job is not for you. Somebody must step on your toes for things to happen. You must learn how to endure. That's why for you that rush into marriage, when you know your hot temper is not dealt with. You want to rush into marriage with your hot temper to go destroy somebody's son or somebody's daughter. You lack temperament. Your temperament is so unbearable, and you want to be a wife, and you want to be a husband. How can you say you want to agitate for Biafra, and you are using your same temperament to come into to agitate for Biafra? No, you can't. You are not only one agitating for it. There are people who have different ideas. Those ideas must be harmonized together and used as a force. We are better when we come as one people to fight for this. We can't be against each other, talking about having our own country. When you have your country, how are you going to live together with each other? I'm asking, can somebody please tell these ones to stop this nonsense? I'm so ashamed of myself here in the United States, seeing people you think they have brain, doing and saying and talking about all kinds of nonsense things that doesn't make no sense. If Simon Ekpa is the one talking about his autopilot, how is it a problem to the US? Leave him alone to do his own thing over there. And then you do your thing and make sure you are doing it for real. You don't go to take bribe from our enemies and talk and tell you not that you are endurance. You don't do that. The oath we took is triggered. The oath we took for this cause is triggered. If you have taken an oath for this cause, and you are sabotaging this struggle, you will see what will happen to you from now and on. It's triggered by the power of the Holy Spirit. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ the King, that oath is triggered. Because some of you think you can go free, do whatever you like, destroy other people's lives, sabotage the struggle, betray your brothers and sisters, they get killed, oh, nothing will happen to me. You will know that there is a living God. You will know that when you took an oath, when you have taken an oath, that you must abide by the oath. That oath is triggered today. I promise you that you will not escape the wrath of God. If you have taken this oath and you are violating it, intentionally violating it. You intentionally betray your people, sell them to the enemy, collect money for your own selfish interest. This oath is triggered on you. Apart from that, but I'm trying to suggest that everybody should come together and harmonize things. Today we have ways to talk to each other from different angles. Please, if you are going to be having some meetings, I want to be in that meeting and I want to speak to all of you, look at your faces and talk to you. Because you guys are disgracing everybody. You guys are insulting people, insulting yourselves, making our people to be vulnerable. Our people that are there defending our land, you are making them vulnerable. And we abandon our son Nnamdi Kanu and others in the dungeon of the DSS. And they can be destroyed any moment because we are not together. We are not united. I want to speak to all of you. If you can talk, go to my WhatsApp. Go to my WhatsApp. Yeah, my WhatsApp phone number is 770-771. I'm giving it to the public. I don't care who calls me. I don't care. Let the president of Nigeria call me. I mean, if you have a president over there, he can call me. Ask me why I'm agitated for Biafra. I will let him know why. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I mean, there are a signatory to the United Nations, a signatory to the African Union that indigenous people are supposed to have their own land if they want to, if they choose to. It's not a crime. It's not a call for war. It's a call for unity. We can be friends after we are separated. We can be friends. There's no hard feelings. For black people to see it as a hard feelings, which means we are still thinking like animals. Because the British people who destroyed Nigeria just had a referendum and pulled out of the European Union. They pulled out on a referendum, but they are busy watching Nigeria disintegrate. They don't want us to have our own referendum because of their own selfish interest, to take care of their own country. And then we all die here. They don't care about it because you have this scheme. They can pull out of the European Union, but we cannot pull ourselves aside. They are against it. Rather, they will make sure they sponsor the Fulanis and tell them don't allow these people to leave. Otherwise, you can kill all of them. And they make sure that we use gun against ourselves. But they never use gun when they had a referendum to get out of the European Union. Did they have a gun to shoot each other? No. When Scotland had their own referendum, did they kill each other, shoot each other? No. The British were the ones that instigated and helped that all this should take place. Why are we different from other people? Because we have so many people in the land. All they hear is money. The language they speak is money. Everything is about money. You can be bribed by a foreigner that you should destroy your land. Because I'm looking at all the politicians in the Senate in Nigeria and the House of Reps and governors and House of Assemblies, all of them and the Supreme Court. None of them want to come together and say, let us have a referendum and talk about how we can coexist as a people, or those who want to go can go. So there will be no fight, there will be no war. Just simple because some of the emirs in Nigeria are just getting a lot of money from the oil and from the resources. In fact, from Adamawa and other places where they have gold, everything should be about themselves. The rest should go to hell. They don't care. So if you want to talk about referendum, they are calling for war. That's how they try to put it. Because they have self-centered interests. They don't care about the people that are in that country. They don't care. Because if they care, there will be no problem. They won't be talking about election. They'll be talking about how do we come together? What do we do? They should hand over to, independent people and to interim government. That say, let the stakeholders come together and discuss if we should have a country called Nigeria or we should do this. They should, first of all, have a referendum talking about if you want to stay, vote. If you don't want to stay, vote yourself out. After the referendum, if all of us agree that we have a country, we should have one Nigeria, then we talk about how do we forge ahead as one Nigerians. It's just very, very simple. And then when they discuss how they can forge ahead, that's when they talk about whether we're going to continue as a federation or where we're going to continue as we are today. Nigeria don't even have a good constitution. It's a fraudulent constitution written by one man in his room and brought for everyone to accept. That is inhuman. That is childishness. That is what happens in animal kingdom. Members of the Senate who claim, some of them are lawyers, know all these things. They can never introduce a meaningful law to the floor of the Senate saying, we have fought so much. People are dying for no reason. So many Boko Haram people want Nigeria to be Islamic State. They want to go as an Islamic State. So many people who are getting something from the East don't want to leave us alone. They want to stay in one Nigeria. Not that they love Nigeria, but for what they are getting. That's it. for what they are getting from the East. They don't want to leave the East alone. They don't want to leave the West alone. They want their brain, their thinking to dominate others. We must be in one Nigeria. Then Boko Haram said, no, we want to have our Islamic State. No, well, we must be in one Nigeria. Can you tell us a reason for being in one Nigeria? You don't even love the other people who are not you. You don't love the Igbos. You don't love the Yoruba. You don't love the Middle Belt. You don't love the Hausas. You only love your Fulani people. Tell me, anytime you're calling for election in the whole northern Nigeria, when the North voted for a Middle Belt person to be president, to nominate them to be president, you are the only one from the Fulani tribe that have the right to be president. You're the only one that have the right to be president. What about Hausas? They are not qualified to be president. To let you know that you want to be on your own. So why do you want to subject every other person to be with you when you don't want them to be with you? Simply because of what you're getting from them. And after getting everything from them, you don't even love them. You call them names and abuse them and call them one kind name that doesn't make no sense. Because you're getting things from them. You pretend that you want one Nigeria. When in actual sense, you don't want one Nigeria. You want the oil in the one Nigeria. And after that, it doesn't mean anything to you. The youths are getting out of school, they don't have no jobs. And you don't even care. You pocket the money inside their room and sit upon it. You don't have no bank account. If you want, you have little money there to, but the money is somewhere. You lay it on the ground. You're taking it gradually to take care of your own children. Others should go and die. You don't really care. But you want one Nigeria. Why would anybody be talking about election in a country that don't have no constitution? A country that don't have nothing, absolutely. I mean, if you go to the Senate in Nigeria, I watch them debate. Every law brought by the president is approved. No, sometimes the debate is just a waste time. They don't care. They don't care because all they want is for themselves. They don't care how it affects others. That's why when the president, when he was alive, he was bringing names to be approved for ministerial position. He brought so many from the Fulani tribe, and they all were approved. Nobody can say anything. If you say anything, maybe you'll be subject to be killed, or you'll be removed from the office. So everyone was approving. All the military personnel, all the heads of departments in the military department were all from the Fulani. They were all approving. Where were these people? These people from the Yoruba land and from the eastern Nigeria. Where were you when you were approving that everybody, all the military personnel were coming from the north, especially from the Fulani tribe? Where were you when that was going on? Were you asleep? Because we never heard that you opposed it. We never heard that somebody stood up and said, why are this going on? Why is it from one tribe? We have the Navy, the Air Force, the Army, the this and all this, everything from the Fulani. Why? Why is it that those who represent their people from other tribes never made a comment? But you want one Nigeria. No, there's no one Nigeria going on. So if Biafra want to go, then let's have a referendum. If we want to stay, let's have a referendum. Until that is done, there will be no election that is meaningful in the whole of the country called Nigeria. The election will be like a child's play. You know that. Come on. Who does that? He didn't ask me. The country was named by a woman, founded by a man. Okay? We haven't sat down and they're united by force. We need to sit down to say, do we continue or do we stop here? We haven't done that. And every year you keep doing election. Election for what? A country I don't have interest for. You want me to be voting? Voting for who? Look at the calibers of men running for election. The same people that ruined, capsized the country. That's the same people running. So then we are governors who stole from the purse of the states, rendered their state useless, and now they want to run for president. When they vote for president now, they will run for Senate. And because they're in a particular party that won for the presidency, they can take that person who won away and give it to somebody who didn't win election. And we are busy talking about a senator who hates his country, who's, to him, money is more important than the rest of the country. All the senators from the East, how many times have they told, go to the Senate, to the country, to the president and say, if you have a president anyway, and say, we need industry in our land. I never had any of them say anything. All they're talking about is how they will be president. Because it is all about ego. It's not about the people, it's about their own selfish interest. They know that they don't have no idea about nothing. That you can speak English doesn't mean that you have ability to rule a country. A country is ruled by a philosopher, not by an ordinary person, by a learned person. So how many of them are learned for real? How many of them have ever fashioned out an important idea that will enable people to become great? How many of them? So I just wonder why all these things are going on. I don't even know why I'm in this type of place called Nigeria. I don't know how I got there. In the midst of people with big names and big academic, names, still, we act like fools. That's just, we are bothered. I heard about people be talking about GDP this and GDP that. All of them are talking about GDP. So when you talk about GDP, some Mumu Nigeria think that you're smart. So when you're talking about GDP, how can your GDP grow? You don't have electricity. I have never seen any of you come up to say what is going on in this country is wrong. We need electricity. And this is how it's going to be done. Reveal the secret about holding all of you. You're getting some money from that too. Reveal the secret of why we don't have electricity. When the whole world have it, even small countries in Africa, you can't take lives there. But the number one superpower in Africa don't have electricity. And all of you never talk about it. You don't mention it. Why? Can you tell me why? All the senators, House of Reps, governors, the president himself, or those who are operating as a president, don't talk about why we don't have electricity in that country. Have you told us why? What is wrong with all of you? Who do you think you're messing with? So I will summarize and say that Nigeria is a disappointment to the whole world, to themselves, to the whole African continent, and all parts of the world. You're a disappointment and you're a disgrace. You're basking on the fact that they call you the biggest country in Africa. Big for what? What are you big of? Your people can't even feed themselves effectively. Your people cannot feed themselves effectively. You're big. You're a great country. What makes you great? When the poor people keep getting poor, the rich keep getting richer, and you say you are a great country. What makes one great? A great man or a great country is known by how they treat small people. How do you treat the poor people? Alhaji Aminu Kanu said that he wants a country where the son of a nobody become somebody, without knowing anybody at the hem of her face. Those kind of men, nobody voted for them. Nobody voted for him to be president. They voted for liars and thieves because they are Fulani. And so I just want to, say that. When people start talking about GDP, I know most of them read maybe business management or they read accounting. And so they use their business argument to think that the country is only run by businessmen. Look at when George Bush, who was a businessman, came to run America. Look at how the economy came down. You don't run because he had the idea of accounting and business, and because he had business idea. When Trump was elected, who was a businessman, he never formulated any important policy. He never formulated, but he knows how to tweet nonsense things and foolish things. But he never formulated any important policy. He was basking on the policy Obama and his vice made with a great house they made. And that's where he hung on. He hung on that. And they said, oh, he was a good president of what? Businessmen, ordinary businessmen don't rule a country. It's for philosophers to rule a country. Nigeria has been ruled by men who are inept and unqualified people. Unqualified, pathetic people. That's why we are the way we are. How can you be talking about business, how Nigeria will grow economy, when you don't have road, people will operate. You don't have no electricity people can use for their business. Every night there is no light. In the morning there's no light. In the evening there's no light. How can anybody be making a GDP, whatever, when you don't have no electricity for the business you are talking about? And you don't want to mention that because those who are making electricity not to be in the country are rich people. If you talk too much, they kill you. You haven't revealed the secret. What is the secret? Reveal it. No, you won't, because you are scared. So how can you rule effectively when you are scared of people? How many of you have ever said, we want to know who is in that Asura. We want him to come out because this rumor has been so much. We want to know who is there. Let him come out and declare himself. Remove your clothes. Put on your sports attire. Let the whole world see that you are the real Buhari. How many of us can say that? We are scared, but you are running for election to make this happen when you cannot be able to speak the truth. How can we trust you? Are you not there when the people hoarded the food given to people? When there was pandemic all over the world, you hoarded the food. You don't want to give it to people. Unless the people went and found out by themselves that this food were given to them, they started looting it. And you never said anything. Now you want to be president. This is a shame, if not a sham. So I just want all of you to understand why you're not qualified to be president and why the Biafrans don't want to be a part of this stupidity. And a call for a referendum shouldn't be seen that we are calling for war. I don't want no war. Some of you are angry right now because I'm saying the truth, because we don't like the truth. That's why we are the way we are. You want to come to America to come and enjoy your life, but they say the truth here. They tell the president the truth. They tell everybody the truth here. But you want to come here. Look at their roads. When you came here, you saw the roads everywhere, so nice, but you can't have it in your own country. Which means we are very, very hypocritical. When Nnamdi Kanu call people with zoo, you know why he's coming. He's coming from the Western world. He knew what zoo means. He's not making no mistakes. Talking about GDP. GDP is falling. GDP is rising. Which GDP? Do you have any GDP? You enter into a whole, you enter into Murtala Mohammed International Airport. You flew in from wherever you're coming from. And they discover that there is no light. Heat will nearly destroy you. I was flying out and there was no electricity. The whole place was down for almost more than an hour. Nobody cares. Talking about GDP. You guys are very, 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 very laughable. Jesus Christ. Well, how can the people who don't like each other? Now people came to the court with these Iago clothes. The Fulani lawyers and Fulani judge don't want that to be worn inside the court. You hate people so bad, but you want them to be together with you. So my old father in the village, and my uncle in the village, who is a really but I hear that in a country where we came first before anybody started coming, that they don't allow us to wear our traditional clothes to come in there. I mean, you want to convince them that they are a part of the country? No, we're not. You don't tell us who we are. We tell you what we are and where we are accepted. Nobody goes where they are not celebrated. Igbo man is not celebrated in Nigeria. We are regarded as nobody because you are scared of us. We know why. You are jealous of us. We know why. But we cannot stay in a country where you are jealous of, where they do everything to make sure you don't rise. You want to make them to be a part of you. No, we will not. We have tried all that, lived in other people's land, developing to their own interests, and they want to kill us. They abuse us, and we wanted to still continue to stay in that particular place simply because we want to be one Nigeria. No, we don't want that one Nigeria. We don't want that. So for everyone all over the world listening to this, please, I want you to share it to everyone. Share it to even to Linda TV show. Let her show it. I really want her to show this, but she has a larger audience. I'm not there yet. I want her to show it. I want people, those of you that have this podcast, to please show it to people. I want them to hear what I'm saying. I want them to understand where I'm coming from. I'm not calling for violence. I'm just asking that you don't love the Igbo people, you don't love the Biafrans. Allow them to go. Or if you want them so bad, then call for a meeting and then hand over to the interim government until we put ourselves together as a country. We put ourselves together. Talk about whether we're going to be together or not. Let them vote on a referendum that they want to stay. If you don't do a referendum, you are increasing the violence. You are forcing us, just like the British forced us together. You are forcing us together. You can't do that. Having an election in a nonsense constitution is another way of tearing the country into pieces. So to avoid all this nonsense, let people determine what they want to do, not you sitting in your house, deciding what we're going to be, how we're going, whether we're going to stay, because you want to have money from the land, because you have your own personal interest in the land. No, we can't do that. It is in the old ages you can do that. But in this present age, you cannot determine whether we're going to be in one country or not. In your own room, and then you come out and tell us we must be here. It's sacrosanct. It is not negotiable. And one Nigeria cannot be debated. It is under debate. And we will let you know that it is under debate. Because we don't have a good judge. We don't have a good Supreme Court or appeal courts headed by all Fulanis almost. And then who don't have no ability to say anything. Because that's what they want. They are subdued by their enemies, telling them what to do in the house, how to govern the country, because they want the money that's coming from the area they hate. You hate people so bad, but their resources you don't hate. And you want them to be in the same country with you as long as they're taking the resources. Who do you think we are? Foolish people like you? I will stop so far. I will continue by the grace of God tomorrow, maybe earlier, because I came late today, earlier, so that this discussion continues. If you want to ask any question, please, I want to make it possible for you to ask questions. And my engineer is not here, and when he finishes, he's going to set things up very well for me. He is in his school reading computer and he's about to graduate. When he's done, everything will be said well, so people can call him and ask questions. But right now, you can inbox me, and I will answer you. Yeah, wherever you're watching from, inbox me from there. And this is Mount Zion Television. And the topic, Wisdom Unchained. Yes. And know that this is a joint discussion anyway with the Voice of Biafra and Mount Zion Television on Wisdom Unchained. God bless you so much as you kept watching and as you kept discussing this with your other friends and distributing it to everywhere, to your group friends. My God will continue to bless you. Thank you. All hail Biafra and all hail Biafra. God bless Nnamdi Kanu and all workers of IPOB, wherever you are. God bless you so much. God bless Biafrans. I love you. Stay blessed.